Finally, you have money in your business, but now you find yourself asking, what should I do with my money? Should I go on holiday, invest, pay off some of the mortgage? Question after question, and the responsibility of making the right decision starts to play on your mind. It's a nice problem to have, right? Which is probably why you haven't done anything about it yet. I mean, do any of your friends or family members want to hear you talk about that problem? You might even be hiding your success. The question is this: now that you have money, how are you going to make the best of it? In this video, I'm going to share with you 7 smart things to do with your money. Hi, I'm Claire, money coach and qualified financial advisor. For the last 14 years, I've been working in the financial services sector, and I run a successful financial services business. I'm here to help you walk into wealth, enriched, empowered and excited. I've built my dream life, and now I'm going to help you build yours. And remember, if you have any questions, post them below, because at the end of each video, I answer one viewer's question. So how do you strike the balance between what you take out as salary and dividends and what you leave in your business account? In some ways, it really doesn't matter, because once you've paid the corporation tax on the profit, the money is yours. You can take it out of the company and pay tax if you want to, or you can leave it in the business and reinvest it into the next phase of your growth. Then here's what to consider next. Number 1, the future. By this, I mean your pension contributions. And yes, I know you may never plan to stop working. I mean, when you love what you do and you're driven to create, I get it. But this is all about having choices when the time comes, and it reduces your corporation tax bill. You can pay up to £40,000 a year into a pension. The good news is you can pay in, or your employer can pay in. And as a limited company director, you are the employer. So if there's spare money sitting in your business current account that you want to get out before the end of the year to reduce your corporation tax bill, putting it into your pension can be one really smart thing to do. But even better than that, you're allowed to carry forward the allowances for the last 2 years. So in the 2 years running up to now, if you haven't put in the full 40,000 because you couldn't afford to, but your business has grown fast, have a chat with your accountant or financial advisor to see how much you can put in. Number 2, big investments. Are there any big investments you could or want to make in your business? Equipment that needs replacing or upgrading yourself in terms of training or mentorships that will really skyrocket you to where you want to be. And if you've covered all of that off, number 3, paying yourself more. You might decide now is the time to start paying yourself more money each month and set your standing order that little bit higher. In the world of business right now, I see a great deal of worry about paying higher rate tax. But paying tax is a good thing. It shows you have a successful business. It's about allowing for and mitigating the tax. So let's go into that in a bit more detail. Let's say you want to pull £10,000 a month out of your business into your personal account. That's £120,000 a year. What can you do to reduce your overall tax bill? We're almost halfway through. You probably have questions, so ask in the comments below. And while you're there, I'd love you to share in the comments what your business is. How do you help people? Number 4, basics to reduce your tax bill. The first thing is to accurately record any charitable donations you've made over the last year. Use the gift aid scheme and send everything to your accountant. It could be donating directly to a charity, church or school PTA, or even a registered sports club. There are loads of ways to do it, but it pushes your tax threshold up so you can earn more before the higher rate tax kicks in. Next, if you pay personally into your pension rather than your limited company paying in, some people do both, you can use that to push up your higher rate threshold too. And when you've done that, what else? Number 5, investments. You might not have heard of some of these before. There are some investments available like venture capital trusts, VCTs, and enterprise investment schemes, EIS, that were set up by the government to encourage people to invest in small unlisted companies. This can be quite a risky way of investing, although there are now products available that can help reduce some of that risk. So why would you want to do this? There are some amazing tax breaks available to encourage you to support these new businesses. For example, if you invest £6,000 into a VCT, you'll get nearly £2,000 off your tax bill that year. It's 30%, so £1,800, but you get the idea. Now there are limits to how much you can put in. The limits are really quite high. Other important thing to remember is you need to hold them for at least 5 years to keep the tax-free status. Any income you earn from the dividend is also tax-free. So although it can be quite a complicated investment, if you've already maxed out your ISA allowance and you're fully looking at your pension being full, it can be a tax efficient thing to do for some people. Now we're almost there. 2 more smart things to do with your money coming up. But first, if you're still with me, can you take 2 seconds to subscribe and give this video a thumbs up? It really helps keep me motivated to keep bringing you helpful content. Okay, let's get going. Number 6, pensions for your kids. We've already talked about pension tax relief, but if you have kids, another thing to look at is setting up pensions for them. You're only allowed to pay in £2,800 per year, but you can do that every year and they get tax relief, which at the time of recording this video equates to about £700 extra added to their pot for free. If you did that for just 10 years of your child's life, by the time they get to 55 and can draw on the money, they're going to have a sizable pot because it's had time to grow and they can't dip into it before then and spend it on other stuff. Number 7, property, art, wine, gold. If you've paid off any debt you've got your emergency savings sorted and the other things in place, and you've still got more money than you need, it's time to look at other investment streams. Maybe you want to consider buy-to-let property or property development. Maybe you want to invest in a different type of business. Hopefully something hands-off so that it doesn't fill up too much of your time. Maybe you want to buy art, vintage bottles of wine or gold. There are all sorts of things you can do, and you can diversify into different things. But you should only do this once you've got all your ducks in a row. It's so important that the bulk of your money is in regulated financial products so that if something goes wrong, you're insured and you're covered. We've all heard of people who've invested their money in that something that looked like it was too good to be true. And it was, and they lost everything. Nobody wants to be that person. And moving forward, maybe you'll decide to work less because you no longer need to draw this level of income from your business. Maybe you'll decide to open an orphanage, set up a charity or sponsor a child through school, or open an alpaca farm like I have. The thing is, money gives you choices. It's not about the money itself, but the feelings it creates and the opportunities it gives you. The more money you have, the more people you can help, the more jobs you are creating. Being successful in business is an amazing thing. You touch so many people and impact so many lives. Okay, time for Ask Claire. Today's question comes from Sam. I usually put my VAT money aside into a pot as soon as I have invoices paid, but I also have credit card debt. Should I put this money into my credit card instead to reduce the total interest I pay? The answer to that, no. That is a big no. Usually we would look at repaying debt and avoiding interest rather than saving because there's very little interest on savings these days, but this is different. VAT and tax money is not yours and it never was. So you need to keep this money separate from your own personal money or your business spending money. I hope this has helped you take one step closer to that life you really want.